Here comes Schmaltz with McBain and Marino. Back for Marino. In front, tapped in, and they score! Special delivery from John Marino to Nick Schmaltz. Schmaltz in front, shoots and scores again! Nick Schmaltz has two tonight! Oh, you're killing me, Schmaltz! Utah numbers ahead. Keller and Schmaltz. Schmaltz shoots and scores! Another hattie for Nick Schmaltz! Send him!
DJ PK, and we are joined once again by Mike Folta, Utah Mammoth radio voice, brought to you by Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. Hercules First Federal Credit Union, bringing all the Mammoth interviews here on the Zone. So, Schmaltzy's got it out for you, Mike. That's what I took out of that. He had you yelling all night long. You could lose your voice. He's dangerous.
Oh, guys, good morning. I'm coming to you a little hoarse this morning.
I thought so.
All puffy. Just woke up. Looked like I got run over by PK's personalized custom golf cart. But, hey, all is well that ends well. It was a big win for the Mammoth last night against a Vancouver team. It's last place in the NHL, but you win 6-2. You do what on paper you're supposed to do, and that's take care of business at home. And Nick Schmaltz with his second hat trick of the year. It's crazy. Last year, he went the first 23 games of the season without scoring a goal, and he still finished with 20 goals. This year, he got off to a great start. He's playing the best hockey of his career, now 10 years into his NHL career, and he's one goal away from a career high still with 25 games left in the regular season, and he has elevated this team with his play. In a contract year, no less.
Of course, Mike. That's the key. That's my question to you. Don't we see this throughout sports? Guys are free agents, and they end up with their best year. We used to have Joe Ingles on every week for 8 years. He gets his contract year. All of a sudden he's shooting 45% from three. And I tried to tell him, well, yeah, because you got money. Oh, no. Come on, man. This is an old story, isn't it?
I guess. But, hey, it's easy to say that and I just expect a guy to be great, but the fact of the matter is Utah has needed Nick Schmaltz to play like this because the team has been without Logan Cooley, who's your most dynamic centerman, and there have been times when some of the scoring around Schmaltz has dried up a little bit, but he's been consistent. He's been excellent defensively. Like, I'm talking about his offensive numbers. He's been excellent in the defensive zone. We have discussed on this show about how Schmaltz has moved over from wing to center, how that's a lot more defensive responsibility. It's what's a good comparison? Maybe football's not the best comparison, but it's like moving from slot receiver to like that true X receiver, right? Like now all of a sudden you're the true number one. Well, now a center has a lot more responsibility on both ends of the ice. It's a harder position to play. And Schmaltz has stepped into that role, and his numbers have been even better in that role. And he's really helped out Clayton Keller and the guys around him. So got to give him a ton of credit. And Utah's needed him to step up in the way that he has. Hat trick last night. He's got 2 on the year. Guys, I had some friends at the game last night. They have now been to 2 games this year. Nick Schmaltz has had a hat trick in both of them. How about that?
Well, nice. You better get him some more tickets.
better get him a Nick Schmaltz jersey.
Right.
Signed. When you look at this team as far as Schmaltz doing what he's doing, and that's great, the other night, and I realized it was in a losing effort, but how about Yamamoto? Seems like he's coming on a bit. Oh my gosh, yeah. He had 5 goals over the last 5 games, 2 goals in back-to-back games. He's the smallest guy on the ice, but he wins every battle. Like he plays with incredible skill and incredible hockey IQ. And he was a really high draft pick a few years ago back in Edmonton. And he spent multiple years in Edmonton, didn't really pan out with the Oilers, even though he got to play with guys like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, some of the top end players in the world. He never stuck long term. Guys, last year, Yamamoto basically had to fight his way into a contract. Right. He played really well in the preseason a year ago and
he didn't have a contract until basically the start of the year. And because he played well in the preseason, the Utah management staff was like, all right, yeah, you can be a depth piece for us. He played in 12 games all of last year, had 2 goals in 12 games, was mostly in the AHL, played in the minor leagues for the first time in 5 or 6 years for him. So it was, I think if you'd ask him, a bit of a reset for him last year, maybe a little humbling. But it helped get his confidence back a little bit because he was playing a big role in the minor leagues. Well, coming this year, he now all of a sudden has 9 goals, and he's still been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but he's playing way more consistently. And he's played and produced to a point where he's forcing Andre Tourigny to keep him in the lineup because he can play with those high-end guys. You can just plug him in with guys like Keller and Schmaltz, like Utah did in the last road trip after Krause was out due to illness. He can play with J.J. Peterka and Barrett Hayton like he has the last couple nights. He finds the soft pockets of the ice. He gets himself open. And like I said, even though he's the smallest guy on the ice, he wins a ton of battles. And a great run for him, even though the Mammoth lost both games where he had 2 goals. His production has kind of helped keep Utah afloat offensively in times where maybe the top guys aren't scoring.
And
but,
don't forget, go ahead, finish your thought.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
This town is used to great play from guys from Spokane, Washington.
Oh, no. Is it Stockton?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You can't say Spokane to a sports fan here. Yeah, without thinking Stockton. It's automatic. We all know it. Baked into us.
That's a good call. Yeah, Spokane's own. Yep, he played in the WHL. Played a little bit in Idaho as a kid, too. So we can basically claim him, right, as like a guy from the western U.S. We don't have a ton of those in the NHL.
That's Spokane to Salt Lake Pipeline.
That's right. Keep it rolling, baby. Open that valve. No, but Yamamoto's been great. He's a humble guy and easy guy to root for and a fun guy to watch.
I am built so that I can scoreboard watch and look at the standings by the time we're a quarter of the way into the season. And even in the first quarter, I find a way to do it. It drives PK nuts. At what point do NHL coaches and players start scoreboard watching? Because there's 6 teams separated by 4 points, and 3 of them aren't going to the playoffs, and 3 of them will get in. So at what point, because they can drive themselves crazy too. You can waste a lot of energy on that kind of stuff. Leave it to somebody like me. I don't have to go out there and skate.
Yeah, it's funny. There's all these different deadlines on the NHL schedule where we have these statistics. The first one that I think of is Thanksgiving, where there's kind of this rule. I think it's 70% of the teams that are in playoff positions by American Thanksgiving are going to be in the playoffs at the end of the season, and so that's not even a quarter of the way into the year, right? And we're talking about we better be in a playoff spot by Thanksgiving, and then Christmas rolls around, and there's another statistic, and then here comes Valentine's Day and the Olympic break, and it's another statistic. So honestly, I think everybody's watching all year, guys. They'll tell you that they're not worried about the standings, but I think everybody watches the standings and looks at the leaderboards every single night. And, I've been a part of teams and even a part of this team where, maybe you lose a bad game late or you lose in overtime. But it's a crushing loss in October. And you're sitting there thinking maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point that keeps us from getting in the playoffs. And someone is saying that. Inevitably, someone is saying that. So they'll tell you they don't watch every night, but I call bull on that. I think everybody watches every night. And honestly, guys, you've had to this year because seriously, it sounds cliche. Oh, the standings, it's a tight race. It is an unbelievably tight race. The Mammoths just had their best calendar month ever in January with 10 wins, and they still are in a dogfight for a wild card spot. And so there's some separation in the division where the top 3 teams are pretty much set in the Central Division, and the Mammoth are that 4th team that there's a pretty big chasm between where Utah is and where the next 3 are. But fighting for that wild card spot, it's like a 5 or 6 team race where everybody is winning in that group. And it's going to come down to the wire. Even though Utah is playing well, you can't rest for 1 second because LA and Seattle and even San Jose now, they were one of the worst teams in the league. Now they're fighting for a wild card. They're right there. So it's imperative the Mammoth keep winning.
We know in the NBA All-Star break that guys like to go where it's warm, and they get about a week to do what they want and get back into town. Well, here with this huge break, I would imagine some of them would have a form of vacation, but you can't vacation for 3 weeks. Do you know what their plan is?
Watch me.
You can, but I'm talking about them.
A lot of guys will get away. Yeah, a lot of guys will get away for at least a week. Utah has some injuries, some guys that have been banged up. Logan Cooley is a big one. Alexander Kerfoot, he's been hurt recently as well. Those guys will be trying to come back during the break. And so like the trainers and the staff, like they get a little bit of break too, but it's only about a week, and then they got to, come back and get guys back up and running, because you want to hit the ground running when you come back from break,
have
right?
to, man.
Well, exactly. We're just talking about the standings. You have to. The Mammoth have some really tough games against Colorado and Minnesota coming up after the break. So it'll be about a week for these guys. It's a 3-week Olympic break. I think I'll be. I'll take about a 3.5 week break for me.
You're gonna come back with heavy legs. Clayton Keller can't. He's gonna be at the Olympics.
Just come back. I worry about Mike having free time, the ability to actually come back. I'm more concerned about him returning, literally.
Everybody knows UC Santa Barbara's a party school, but Purdue's underrated from what I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm worried about you.
Well, when the freshman orientation is, guys, it's when you're at Purdue, but the whole behavior is Purdue-don't.
Hey. We had a big win against an 8-12 Maryland team on Sunday, so we're on the climb back. I mean, with Purdue, God, like Indiana winning a national championship, Purdue loses to Indiana in basketball a week later. Like, I have nothing, right? I have nothing as far as my collegiate fandom. I'm living vicariously through Utah State, my Aggies.
There you go.
But they lost a couple games too. So.
They did. But then bounce back. Big game against New Mexico coming up.
Oh, yeah. The Pit's legendary. It'll be crazy. There's a guy. What is he? The swamp rat or the sewer rat? What's that?
Sewer rat.
The sewer rat. Yeah. There's a fan there. You gotta see him to believe him. And Steve Cleveland, the BYU story, actually ended up befriending the guy. It's a heck of a story. Have you ever have a chance to watch?
Brought him some raw meat.
Yeah, if you have a chance to watch Utah
Is this New Mexico at the Pit?
It's a New Mexico fan.
Yeah.
Snake is another nickname for the guy. He's all tatted up. He'll be there in a tank top. He's a short dude, and he screams his head off. During games. Just goes nuts. Everyone knows.
I'm gonna keep my Utah State fandom to the spec, probably. So I don't think I'm going on any Aggie road games.
You did have a nice little Sandlot reference when Schmaltz. You're killing me, Schmaltz, which is obviously Smalls. You are somewhat new to the area. You do realize that Sandlot was filmed in our area, right?
I was told this. That was not on my mind as I called the goal, but I was told this. Where was it filmed?
There's a diamond in Rose Park.
Yeah.
There were a couple scenic.
My home golf course.
Right. There were a couple scenic cutaways.
Down by Murray?
Where there's
Town?
one that was taken from like the east bench looking west, and you can see the smokestack at the end of the Oakers at Kennecott. I mean, it's totally obvious. If you watch the movie and wait for the smokestack, you will 100% see it. Yeah, it was like, well, obviously they're in Utah. Yeah, the Murray Pool was used. Yeah. There were multiple locations. If you go online, you can see all those things are online now if you want to find out where stuff was shot. Just type in locations for whatever movie.
Sandlot is on an extremely short list of movies that it is acceptable to watch on the 4th of July. I don't think you should be watching movies on the 4th of July, but if for some reason you are in front of a TV screen on the 4th of July, it's Sandlot, Independence Day, and that might be it. I'm not sure what else.
Well, always, of course, you're realizing that every day of the year, multiple times, you can watch Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 because that's the ultimate family movie.
Well, that's always on Thanksgiving. That always
Should always be on.
It's always on Thanksgiving.
Just always on.
Which one's the bad one? Which one's the one you're
The
not
third
supposed
one.
to
The
watch?
third one.
now.
The third one doesn't measure up to the first
It's
two.
1 and 2.
Yeah, one and 2 are Oscar winners. I mean, they're classics. So, I got to ask you about the Olympics here because there's all this noise about, well, is the rink going to be done in Milan? And then it's like, well, we're only going to send the NHL players, and the Mammoths send them 4, right, for 4 different countries. If the ice quality is up to a certain standard, and I'm thinking, there's a lot of money on the line. They've stopped the schedule one way or another. How can they not make ice? I mean, this is going to happen, isn't it? This is all just drama leading up to it.
It is. We're going to play the games, and it's going to be awesome. And we're going to watch Team USA, play Canada, Sweden, like all these teams, and we're going to love every second of it. And the players are going to make it incredible, right? Like we had the outdoor game in Tampa a couple days ago where the Lightning came all the way back to win 6-5 in overtime. And the goalies fought, and the players had awesome costumes upon their entrance to the stadium. Like that event was awesome because the players made it awesome, regardless of all the extra stuff on the outside. The Olympics coming up in Milan, there's been a lot of noise about the arena not being finished. And from what it sounds like, it's not going to be finished by the time we play. And when I say that, I mean it's not going to be to the standard that we were hoping and expecting. And, when we go around the league to different teams, there's a certain standard that NHL players are used to. When you walk into the locker room, the type of access you have throughout the arena and things like that. It sounds like that's not going to be up to an NHL standard in Milan. Again, I'm not there on the ground. This is just what I'm hearing from people who are there. But they have the important stuff is going to get done. The important stuff either is done or is going to get done. And that's the ice surface itself and, the boards, like the hockey infrastructure. Most of the seats are done. It sounds like they had to bring in some kind of temporary seats as well. I was talking with Sam Farnsworth over at Channel 2.
Channel 5.
Channel 5, excuse me. Yes, thank you. And he was telling me, he was filling me in a little bit on the backstory. He's got boots on the ground in Milan.
Yeah.
But the important stuff is done. The players are going to make it awesome. But I wouldn't be surprised if you keep seeing pictures and videos over the next couple of days of incomplete sections of that hockey arena in Milan, which is really unfortunate because we all know they only had, a couple years to get this done.
Dope it out for us as far as who you think are the favorites. Obviously, with the NHL players playing for the first time in 12 years, you should have a pretty good idea of the rosters.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the U.S. and Canada are going to be really good. No Russia in the Olympics. I think we know that. There's so many good Russian players. You think of Mikhail Sergachev for the Mammoth. So there's a little bit of an asterisk next to this, next to any best on best tournament when you don't have Russia involved. But U.S. Canada are going to be up there. Sweden has an unbelievable team. Sweden is going to be legit. Finland always overachieves in these tournaments. Last time we played best on best Olympics, Olli Mata was part of Team Finland, and they beat Patrick Kane and the Americans like 5-1 to win a bronze medal. And the U.S. got 4th that year. So Finland always overachieves. They'll be very good. Team Czechia will have Karel Vejmelka. We know Veggie's ability to steal a game as a goaltender. They'll be a very tough out as well. Those are kind of the 4 teams. Those were the 4 teams we had they weren't the 4 teams. Czechia was not part of the 4 nations, but those are the 5 teams: U.S., Canada, Sweden, Finland, and Czechia that I think have the best chances to medal. U.S. going to have a really good team. Going to have a team that's really good on defense, really good goalie. Those are probably the advantages that the Americans have. Up front, Canada's better because you have guys like Crosby, McDavid, and McKinnon. So it's gonna be a great matchup when U.S. and Canada meet.
Mike, we'll leave it right there. One more game, and then you can put your feet up for 3 weeks.
Oh, who said I'm not already kicking back?
Well, you are, actually.
I'm on my lazy boy here, just kind of getting used to it.
All right. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Mike Folta, he's the radio voice of the Utah Mammoth. They got the Red Wings coming up tomorrow night. DJ and PK, we're back with everything you missed in this show next.
Whirls around and down.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone is your exclusive home of the Utah Jazz. And we want to send you to the Delta Center to see the Jazz in action. Listen every Tuesday for the Jazz Ticket Tuesday Sounder at 30 past the hour, every hour, all day long. And if you're caller number 12, you'll be on your way to an upcoming game.
Buy one, you'll get one free.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, every Tuesday throughout the NBA season on your radio home for the Utah Jazz. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Slackeretta headlines are brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 801-210-6800 or visit their website at trajanwealth.com. We're giving away Jazz tickets all day long. It's Utah Jazz Ticket Tuesday. Every hour on the half hour. 9:30 tickets. Time to give them away right now. 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. You win a pair of tickets to see the Jazz and the Kings February 11th at the Delta Center. That'll be a battle of two of the bottom teams in the West. Right now, two of the bottom three teams in the West, along with the Pelicans. Can't imagine that'll change between now and then.
Yeah, but if they played in college, they'd win the title.
See.
Look at it that way.
Okay.
The best college team out there. Why'd you be so negative?
Jazz and Pacers, two of the bottom six teams in the NBA, playing tonight. Dangerous. Could be some W's here before the All-Star break, PK. Be very careful.
Yeah, they got to limit them.
Everybody else seems to be pulling away. Memphis just picked up a win. They're on 19 wins. Dallas is on 19. Look at Charlotte with seven straight wins now. Seven in a row. They're at 23. They have pulled over the horizon. Really, it's the Bucks you got to look at. If they move Giannis for a bunch of draft picks, they're only on 18 wins.
Right.
No, they could drop into the group.
Well, I would look at him either way. If they don't move him, he's probably just going to be disinterested.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it is contingent upon a trade.
Yeah, they're 4 games out of even a play-in spot, so they were a long way away.
Yeah.
I could see him shutting it down, and if he doesn't get traded. Don't get hurt, stay healthy for the offseason, and get traded in the offseason, improve their draft position. I can see where both he and the Bucks could agree on that. If he doesn't get traded, and then he's sitting and not playing, and they're terrible.
My guess is he doesn't.
Doesn't what?
Get traded.
Yep. Been a lot of rumors, a lot of smoke, but no fire yet.
Yeah, I think it's clear. If he can't get his preference to come to Utah, he doesn't want to move yet. He'll wait for the summer.
I think this is where you start playing radio, right here. Minnesota, Golden State, New York. There've been a lot of speculation about a lot of teams.
Yeah, and there was
But so
no
far,
speculation to Doncic to the Lakers, and voila.
The Heat, that's true. The Heat and the Clippers have been mentioned, but now the Clippers and James Harden agreeing to make a deal with Harden, thought to be probably headed toward Cleveland. Harden doesn't want to be there if there's going to be a long-term suspension for Kawhi Leonard because they circumvented the salary cap. If that's the expectation, if you're into trying to figure out the whys behind this.
Well, I think he has a clause on the trade, and there's some talk that they asked him to waive it, and he said, "Well, sign me to a long-term extension," and they said no, and he said, "Well, then trade me."
There it is.
And he's moved around enough now.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
He's a Houston Rocket, but since then, I can't even keep track. Philly, Brooklyn, Clippers. Who am I leaving out? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Well, obviously it was Oklahoma City before that.
Yeah, early on, you're right.
So you just make the move. And I think that Cleveland kind of feels like, well, we're just back in the same situation that the Jazz were in.
Yes. Back in the middle.
Yeah.
What I have referred to as the cul-de-sac.
We're good.
But we're not good enough.
No.
No.
And that's going to dog Mitchell.
Yeah.
Somewhat unfairly. But you can argue unfairness and fairness, and that just goes with it. And, you know, once you did what you did, and you didn't whine your way out of Utah, but you forced your way, and then you had some comments that it was so draining and blah, 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 blah. Okay, And you put up good numbers and you're an all-star, but that's it.
But it hasn't translated to the playoffs.
No, not enough. Not well enough. You'll get there.
It is really hard to ask a guy his size to be the best player on a championship caliber team, whether you're the champion or not. And he hasn't been to a conference final yet.
I think his ability, too.
Yeah. If you got Steph Curry's ability, you can pull it off. But that's a lot of ability.
Thomas did it.
Yeah.
Nash was better, got him more advanced.
Yeah.
I think they would have won a title.
It's a very short list of guys under 6'6". Nash was a 2-time MVP.
But they feel like they've got to do something because they're not going to go anywhere. And it's just going to be the same thing, rinse and repeat.
Right. Yeah, there's 5 teams in the East separated by very little, and they're all chasing the Pistons. And at least the Celtics have hopes because they're doing it without either, depending on how you look at it, either their best player or one of their 2 best players.
Their
The best player. Yeah.
Right. I mean, but
so
they're still competitive. That's good.
Yeah, right. They've just dropped back 1 tier without Tatum. When they get him back, we all assume, I do anyway, that they'll move back to the top tier.
I would think so, especially in that conference.
Whereas the Knicks, the Raptors, the Cavs, the Sixers, maybe even the Heat are all trying to figure out, okay, how do we take the next step? We're good. We're over 500. We're winning. And in most cases, we've been playing 600 ball. But how do you take the next step?
It's so freaking hard.
It is.
Because I don't think that you can moneyball your way in the NBA.
It is really hard. And if you do, you do it with a good player on a rookie contract who develops very quickly. And so you got to cash in while they're on the rookie deal. It's like that NFL quarterback. Can you hit on someone who's young enough? You know, Drake May's on a rookie deal. Now you can spend money on the rest of the team.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That sounds good, but Darnold isn't young enough.
He is not. Now, he's not on a $50 million deal either.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't need that. That's the whole point. You don't need a $50 million quarterback.
I think it gets to the point, which is what Brian Geltzeiler, and go listen to him wherever you get your podcasts, like the $50 million player in the NBA, people are like, whoa, wait a minute. He can make us good, but then we can't do anything else, and now we're boxed in. We got to be careful with these $50 million guys.
Yeah, your best player does not deserve that. All best players aren't created equally.
Right.
But yet the system forces them to re-up these guys, and they're not good enough. They're okay, but they're not good enough. And Mitchell is good, but he's not good enough.
No, you're paying very good players like they're great.
I've got no problem with Donovan Mitchell as a ball player, but he simply is not good enough. Shaq took some heat for doing that, and I mean, it was after a game which they won. It was a little awkward.
It was super awkward, but the timing was brutal, but he wasn't wrong in his take. You know,
and that's no knock against Donovan Mitchell.
No, because what you're judging is, are you one of the top 2 or 3 players in the game who can win a championship?
And he's not.
No.
But make him your third option. His stats will go down.
Maybe even your second option.
But the winning would go up.
Yeah. He could even be the second option if he's one of the top 2 or 3 players in the game. Now, he wouldn't have the ball as much. And then, if he's in Denver with Jokic, who's one of the top 2 or 3 players in the game. The thing is, Donovan tends to be a little on the ball dominant side.
He is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, the ball has to go to Jokic.
The ball has been in his hands probably since he was 10.
Yeah.
He's probably the best player on his team growing up.
Yeah.
But there's a cap there. I would slot him at third.
As a third?
Yeah. I mean, certainly he's a very good NBA player, and he's going to be rich beyond his wildest dreams, and so he can send his kids to the same private school that he went to, private schools, and boarding schools and all that, and good for him. Way to go. That's awesome. But that's the reality of it, that, how do you get that? It's just so dang hard. There's so few of them. And can you get your hands on one? And to tie it in, probably not, just statistically. But if you're going to do it, it's most likely going to be through the draft.
San Antonio got their guy in the draft. Denver got their guy in the draft. Oklahoma City did trade for their guy. Detroit got their best player in the draft.
I think what you can do is draft well and be a competitive team.
Can you get to a conference final? Get in the mix?
Booker was 13th, I think, right around there.
They drafted well.
Yeah.
A very good pick.
Yeah.
Best player on the board when he was drafted.
So you can be competitive.
They're 30-20. They're 10 games over 500. They're playing 600 ball.
And a couple years back, they did get to the final.
They did.
and then they go and make a bunch of moves that were wrong.
Did not work. Did not come close to working.
So
the chemistry culture stuff gets overrated, but it does matter. The difference between the Suns this year and last year, a few players, attitude in the locker room, who has the ball.
Well, Durant views himself as a scapegoat. Everybody wants to play victim.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is full of victims. We hear it every day. But the fact is that maybe he wasn't the only reason, but nevertheless, they got rid of him and Bradley Beal. And now at least there's hope.
Yeah.
There was no hope. There was no hope of the sun rising.
There was not.
Or the sun's rising. Now, at least they got a little hope. But now we'll see what they do. Great, you got a little hope now.
Yeah.
But what do? Do you panic and start making a bunch of moves that suck and make it worse? Or do you make it better? How do you do that? And that's the charge for the Jazz. They know the charge as well as anyone. And how's it going to be when we get to 2030 and look back? How's it going to be? Is it going to be? It will be better, but will it be great?
Trade deadline is Thursday, so we wait on Giannis and the Bucks. Knicks, Heat, Timberwolves, Warriors, what's going to happen? And Harden, we'll see if it's a Clippers-Cavs deal. Or, like you say, is there a surprise deal? Because, man, that Laker-Maverick thing came out of the middle of nowhere.
I fell off the chair.
Utah Mammoth, 6-2 over Vancouver. Mike Folta, always great. He was on with us in the last segment. If you missed that interview, wherever you get your podcast, find Mike Folta with us and Brian Geltzeiler on the Jazz and the NBA trade deadline. And they're available wherever, KSLSports.com, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever. When we come back, your feedback next. Stay with us. DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for your feedback. What do you think of today's show? All the questions we have asked. What can BYU do to avoid another bad first half of basketball? U-State Iceman. It's easy. Transfer to a different school and then sing hallelujah as you leave BYU. Oh, see, look at the Aggies getting their shots in. The Utes get their shots in. Spend another $7 million on a first-round draft pick. Never deny the talent, but I expect they're going to have more juniors and seniors in the rotation next year and make this team older. Yeah, you got to make them better. Still comes down to talent, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and do you want to go where you have a little chance to play? I think they're always, at least for the foreseeable future with Kevin Young there, going to be on the younger side and have draft picks. Would you rather have draft picks or 23-year-olds? Now, if you can get a Walt Clayton Jr., we got both.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, and we saw what happened.
Which is the goal, right?
If it works out that way. I don't know if it's the goal.
They're definitely going to look for depth.
No question.
Without question. I mean, that one's hitting everybody over the head right now.
Which should be more experienced guys.
Right.
Yeah. And cheaper guys.
Will they start encouraging local guys to go to local schools and transfer back to BYU? Whether it's UVU down the road or they're going to have 3 big sky schools in state with realignment next year.
Well, there's a player, Welling at corner. He went to corner and then went to UVU. Mm-hmm. I think he went to Irvine first. And where is he now? He played Clemson. He could help this team, man. But, I mean, how much money you got? And is Clemson going to bid more?
See, how hard is depth to put together? Like,
right.
You've got the money to outbid people for the top players, but then do you still have money to outbid people? Because they're saying, hey, we'll give you the same money and you'll be, 1, 2, or 3 in FGAs instead of 6, 7, or 8.
Right.
Yeah. It's a strong argument.
Yeah.
It's going to carry the day.
Right.
Jill heard Mike Folta talking about 4th of July movies and what's acceptable, and she says Jaws on the 4th of July.
Jaws?
Jaws.
Man, I can't watch Jaws. I'll be too scared to go in the water. Well, how about, wasn't there a movie Born on the 4th of July?
Yeah, Tom Cruise. He's a veteran.
Sort of a dark movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, see, Jaws, people are getting eaten alive. So, I don't know how upbeat you find that. Not exactly
it is
a laugh
the beach, obviously, July 4th.
Yeah, sure. You're
July 4th is simply the most underrated holiday of all holidays.
What's second?
July 4th.
Second and third.
July 3rd. July 5th. July 4th is an awesome holiday. I look forward to it every year.
I do too. The height of summer, great weather,
Yeah.
fireworks, short sleeves.
Who don't like
shorts.
fireworks?
Yeah, now you're talking.
Hot dogs? Well,
Now
wait a
you're
second.
talking.
Can you eat hot dogs?
Sodium, not right now. gotta.
Gonna be
It's
a
July
long
4th.
summer.
You're not going to eat turkey on
By July 4th,
Thanksgiving?
I was just telling PK during the week for this whole soda weight loss thing. I've got
Can you have a hamburger?
I've got a zone. Not yet.
What?
I've got a zone. No, it says bread, buns. No.
Well, you can have a hamburger without
You
bread
can have the
and bun.
patty. You can have the patty.
Yeah, go
no,
go
you can have the
protein
patty.
style, as they say.
Yeah, you have the patty. Yeah. Actually, I was just talking about that with the nutritionist last week about traveling. She's like, here are your options.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a nutritionist now. The
Yeah.
high and mighty.
866-800-SOTA. Get yourself a nutritionist.
Yeah, so,
bonus
man.
plug soda.
Big Macs, McDonald's, McDonald's.
It was about getting down to a
Whopper.
target weight.
WHOPPER.
Target zone. That's 2. I'll take 2. Uh-oh. DJ's got to go back on soda. He broke the rules.
Well, you got to live a little too, my
You
man.
do. Well, there's a target zone, not a target weight,
It's
but
like
like
you
a
lived
target
the
zone.
big life, and now you're paying
Get in
for it
the
a little
zone.
bit. All right, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Just take care of yourself, big guy.
All right. All right.
We need you back here next year.
You don't want to read some of these contest liners, huh?
No.
The player of the week
you're
with a
better
name
at
you
that
may
than
or
I
may
am.
not be able to pronounce.
We didn't get this far with convoluted roles here.
I don't sing. You don't read the promos.
No. I mean,
There's our rules.
You bring us in and out, you set it up, and away we go.
There you go. And then you swing for the fences. Or put a spit wad in the end of the straw and see if you can put one up there by the bus driver on the wall. Not that ever happened over there in
Sounds fun to me.
Bonita, California, as far as you know. All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We are all out of time. Jake and Ben are coming up next. More trade deadline talk, no doubt, right here on the Zone. And if you missed Mike Folta and Brian Geltzeiler, get them wherever you get your podcasts, KSLSports.com, YouTube, wherever. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.